As I settled into my role as the security guard for the luxurious penthouse, an eerie sensation began to gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. The penthouse itself was a marvel of modern architecture, towering above the city like an impenetrable fortress. Its polished glass windows reflected a cold, indifferent stare back at the world below. My shifts often started at dusk and ended with the first light of dawn, giving me ample time to observe the penthouse's occupants, a reclusive billionaire and his enigmatic wife. They seldom left their opulent sanctuary, their voices muffled behind the thick walls. Whispers circulated among the staff about strange rituals and unsettling noises that echoed through the night. One evening, as the sun slipped below the horizon, I noticed an anomaly on the security footage. A figure, barely perceptible, seemed to glide through the penthouse corridors, a silhouette in the dark. My heart raced as I stared at the screen, unable to comprehend what I was witnessing. Each night thereafter, the spectral figure would appear, growing bolder with each passing hour. I questioned myself as I saw it move through locked doors and solid walls, leaving a trail of unease in its wake. The air turned icy whenever it was near, and a sense of dread clawed at my chest. I knew I had to investigate, to confront this inexplicable horror that had invaded the penthouse. Armed with a flashlight and trembling resolve, I entered the penthouse during one of my shifts. The opulence of the place seemed warped in the pale glow of my flashlight, the walls appearing to pulse with a sinister life of their own. As I ventured deeper, whispers became audible, unintelligible murmurings that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. My flashlight flickered and died, plunging me into darkness. Panic set in, and I stumbled forward, my hands finding purchase on cold, clammy walls. Then, a voice, a haunting whisper that seemed to come from all directions at once. "You were never meant to see," it hissed, the words crawling down my spine like a centipede. A pair of glowing eyes materialized in front of me, fixating on me with an otherworldly intensity. Frozen with fear, I could only watch as the figure drew closer, its form shifting and contorting like liquid smoke. In that moment, the penthouse's secrets revealed themselves to me. The billionaire and his wife were no ordinary occupants. They were conduits for a malevolent entity that fed on fear and despair. The figure before me was a manifestation of their wickedness, a guardian of the penthouse's twisted power. I fled the penthouse, my mind fractured by the horrors I had witnessed. Resigning from my post, I left that place of darkness behind, haunted by the knowledge of the malevolent force that dwelled within its walls. I woke up to an eerie silence, my heart pounding as I struggled to remember how I'd ended up in this luxurious penthouse. The last thing I recalled was entering the elevator, but everything else was a blank. The room was dimly lit by an unsettling crimson glow, casting long shadows across the opulent furniture. As I wandered through the penthouse, I noticed peculiar details, portraits of me on the walls, all distorted as if seen through a funhouse mirror. The air was thick with a strange metallic smell, making it hard to breathe. My steps echoed eerily against the polished marble floor as I ventured further, drawn by an inexplicable pull towards a heavy wooden door. The room beyond was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was as if someone had recreated a nightmarish carnival within the confines of this penthouse. Twisted clowns leered from every corner, their painted smiles seemingly mocking my confusion. A broken music box in the center of the room emitted a haunting melody that seemed to be an echo of my own fear. A mirror caught my attention, a reflection stared back at me, but it wasn't my face. The eyes were vacant, the skin unnaturally pale. I stumbled back, tripping over a stack of old, weathered journals. Flipping through them, I discovered entries that seemed to be written by me,
chronicling events I had no memory of. The words spoke of a descent into madness, of nights haunted by whispers that only I could hear. Desperation gripped me as I realized that the only way out was through the distorted memories these journals contained. As I read, the events described became increasingly surreal: encounters with shadowy figures, conversations with voices that seemed to emerge from the walls themselves. Each entry drew me deeper into a reality that was both unsettling and horrifyingly fascinating. Time lost meaning as I continued reading, the words blurring together until they formed a sinister tapestry of my own subconscious. The journals hinted at a ritual that could break the cycle, a way to escape the distorted reality I found myself trapped in. But as I delved deeper, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that the walls themselves held secrets that were begging to be revealed. With trembling hands, I began to piece together the ritual described in the journals. Symbols needed to be drawn, incantations recited. It was a nightmarish puzzle that seemed both impossible and inevitable. As I completed each step, the penthouse itself seemed to come alive. The walls pulsating with an otherworldly energy. The final step involved confronting the mirror and facing the distorted reflection that had haunted me. With a deep breath, I met its gaze, feeling a surge of recognition and revulsion. The room trembled as a piercing scream filled the air, a sound that seemed to come from both within and beyond. And then, silence. I found myself back in the elevator, the penthouse now just a distant memory. As the doors opened, I stumbled out onto the street, the sunlight blinding after the darkness I had endured. The memories of that disturbing penthouse remained with me, a surreal experience that left me questioning the boundaries of reality and the depths of my own mind. I moved into the luxurious penthouse on the top floor, thrilled to finally live in the lap of luxury. The stunning city views and modern amenities made it seem like a dream come true. However, as the days passed, I began to notice strange occurrences. Late at night, I found furniture moved around as if someone had been rearranging it. I lived alone, so this was deeply unsettling. My anxiety grew worse when I started having vivid nightmares, always featuring a faceless figure lurking in the shadows of the penthouse. I felt like I was being watched even in broad daylight. The once inviting atmosphere of the penthouse now felt suffocating, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was not alone. One stormy night, as lightning illuminated the cityscape, I saw the figure from my nightmares standing at the far end of the living room. My heart raced as I stumbled back, but when I turned on the lights, it was gone. I could no longer deny that something was horribly wrong with the penthouse. Desperate for answers, I researched the building's history. It turned out that the penthouse had a dark past. The previous owner had mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind unsettling journal entries about hearing voices and seeing things that weren't there. Determined to uncover the truth, I decided to stay up one night, armed with cameras and voice recorders. As the clock struck midnight, a chilling coldness enveloped the room, and the whispers grew louder, almost like a haunting chant. The cameras picked up flickers of movement, and the voice recorder captured unintelligible, sinister whispers. Terrified, I fled the penthouse that very night, leaving all my belongings behind. Whatever malevolent presence haunted that place was beyond comprehension. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that the penthouse's luxurious exterior hides a darkness that no one should ever have to face.